I want to show you what Saturday morning looks like. We're not going to go all the way into town, but I'm meeting a realtor friend of mine here in Plaza Mejia Mora to show us another house tour. I think this one's going to be a one for sale, and if it's in this plaza, this is Plaza Mejia Mora. I think it's pronounced Mejia Mora, but look how peaceful it is. You've got your fountain in the middle. You've got your benches over here where you can just watch people go by. I don't know about you, but I love people watching. So this is a treat for me, and this is why I love this plaza so much. But I love coming here, especially on days like this when there's not a lot of people here yet. And oh wow, look at the colors behind me. It's just, I don't have to do any editing in my videos. That's why I love it. You know, a lot of vloggers, I can't say most, but a lot of vloggers will film wherever they are and then just color grade and just add color. You don't need to do that with a place like Guanajuato. It's already naturally colorful. And speaking of color, I wanted to do this video today while I wait to talk about a couple of issues that have been addressed and asked in the comments of my videos. One of them is what it's like for LGBTQ people here in Guanajuato and in Mexico in general, and two, what it's like to be a Filipino American. Where do I start without sounding insensitive to the subject? Okay, so here's where I'll go with this. When it comes to being LGBTQ and being part of that community, which I love, by the way, it's being here in Guanajuato as that is kind of like, it makes me realize what it's like being straight everywhere else in the world. It just doesn't matter. It's not something I think about or my partner thinks about at all. The only time we think about being, a same-sex couple or being Filipino in Mexico is when people ask questions about it. You know why I never think about it? Because no one ever asks questions about that here in Guanajuato or in Mexico. Like I said, everyone minds their own business. What you do behind closed doors with the person that you love is what you do. Mexico is a conservative country, very Catholic country. So is the Philippines. So I understand Mexico from that perspective of being Filipino and having that culture in my blood. I get it. I get how some people who might be hyper religious or super religious and stick to the word and being literal about it. I can understand how some people can feel unsafe with that, but here it's not. Nothing is ever pushed in your face. Religion is not pushed in your face. You're invited to attend, certain festivities, but no one ever pushes it in your face. No one ever tries to recruit you. No one ever tries to tell you to go to church. It's just everyone does what as they please without trying to influence or enforce their rules on anyone else. So it's a very, very different way of life, and it's a way of life that I absolutely love, and I feel like this is why I'm thriving here as a person of color and a person who identifies as LGBTQ. But yeah, it's not something that I think about often because it's not brought up often here. There are many times you'll find same-sex couples walking around holding hands. For full transparency, I'm not a holding hands kind of a guy, nor do I show public displays of affection. I've never been that way. And even when I was straight, in my straight life, I never did that. So I'm working on it, but it's not anything to do with being in Guanajuato. I don't feel comfortable doing that in LA. I don't feel comfortable doing that anywhere. It's just has nothing to do for me with sexuality. It's just for me, I just like to stay in my own on my own body when it comes to being in public. So that's why I did this video. I wanted to just like let you know, if you are part of the LGBTQ community, same-sex couple, solo, even if you're not in the community and you're like a solo female traveler, safe. I feel safe here. People also wanted me to talk about crime. Obviously there's crime in every city. In fact, there were a couple of murders here a few days ago. But what city doesn't have murders? What city doesn't have some element of crime? In case you're wondering, the murders, are tied to private, like isolated families, feuding with other families. It has nothing to do with tourists. It has nothing to do with foreigners. It's all personal business, how they, how they took the law into their own hands. But for me, I'm not worried about any of that stuff. I'm more worried about walking into a school in the United States and fearing for my life because wondering if there's going to be an active shooter. That really, I'm not even joking. That is a fear. Walking into a grocery store in the United States thinking if there's going to be a mass shooting, going to a movie theater. I don't feel safe there in that capacity. But here, would I walk through the alleys, the little tiny alleyways at 3 or 4 in the morning? Absolutely, I've done it many times. Would I walk through downtown, Centro, in the middle of the night? You betcha. I've done it many times. This city has over 250,000 inhabitants, and it's pretty normal to expect a certain level of crime, just like any other city. So if that's something that you're worried about, I can only speak from personal experience. I've never ever felt unsafe here in Guanajuato, living here in this city. And a lot of my friends are single, solo travelers, female, over 50, over 60, and they seem to be thriving here as well. So I don't know who you're gonna believe when it comes to information on safety and inclusivity. Someone who actually lives here, or someone who heard from a friend of a friend of a friend, whose dentist's mother's friend came here once and had a bad time. I don't know. So I hope you like this video. I'll see you in the next one. And the next video is going to be another house tour. So I don't know if it's going to be a rental or if it's going to be a for sale. Stay tuned. That's going to be tomorrow's video. I'll talk to you. Bye.